Appeals. I'm going to call it to order, and then I'm going to call.
She's coming in now.
Okay.
That I still don't know how to make myself visible.
That's all right.
There we go. All right. So we got everybody here we need. So I already called the meeting to order, Sophia. I was about to call recess.
Sorry about that.
No,
Yeah.
we were just allowed in the meeting a minute or two ago. So
Perfect.
He just said the Board of Health wrapped up. So I can imagine there's some technical difficulties. I'll start by introducing the board. Chairperson Kick Sullivan. Sophia, can you introduce yourself?
Yep. Sophia Bitsis, member.
And Christine.
Christine Webster, alternate.
All right, so on the agenda this evening, we have that of, let me just go back to that screen. Sorry, I didn't print this. We have 92 Pequot Point Road of David Weiss on the agenda. Is there anybody here for something other than those matters based upon the 6 screens? I'm going to say no. I'll give it a second. No? Okay. So, David, we've obviously, in accordance with what we talked about last time, we are prepared to issue a letter. I guess I'll call the is it technically a public hearing, Jay, or is it just a acceptance? I don't know that we.
It's not a hearing, so it would just be a finding.
So I'm calling the petitioner for 92 Pequot Point Road to the forefront. David, if you just state your name and address for the record and the property address of the affected property.
I'm David Weiss. I live in 12 Parkman Street, Brookline, Mass. And the property in Westfield that I'm petitioning for, or at least asking for consideration on, is 92 Pequot Point Road, which was created in a division of a previous 1.6 acre property at 95 New Broadway. And the variance was granted at the same time that that property was divided into 2 lots.
Correct. So in what we're proposing to you, and I think is hopefully acceptable, is we kind of in a letter. Jay, did you any chance you sent this to David for review?
I did not. Just a draft finding and citing some of the evidence.
We have a draft citing some of the evidence of why we think that the variance has already been exercised. I think would create more confusion to re-record a variance that has already been recorded and in our opinion exercised. So we're issuing a letter, confirming that it is of our opinion that the variance has been exercised, and then we outline everything involved in this variance. It starts with the variance with 95 New Broadway, and there was an amendment, and then it was reconfirmed at I believe previously maybe Chairman Parent issued that letter. And then there was the sale of 95 New Broadway, which was then clearly exercised, and that we are of the opinion that this is a buildable lot, and that the action that you are seeking to sell for is warranted, and that you've relied upon not only the variance, but the board's continued support of the variance that is in full force and effect, and kind of outlined why, the general scheme of keeping the lot density the same as to why all these variances are interrelated. Is that something that you feel would be sufficient for your needs?
It sounds it to me. If I have never met Carissa, so if you think that is something that I can take to Carissa and she will understand, I'll explain to her the whole history, how this all came about. But the real point of this is so that when a buyer comes along, and in fact, someone was out there yesterday, and we'll see if that leads to another offer, that when that person would go and submit a building determination application, that Carissa would say, I get it, I get the whole picture, and allow this to go through, as opposed to saying, I question this or I challenge this. So that's what I'm saying. So it sounds fine to me, but I have never dealt with Carissa. So if anybody has any other opinion on dealing with what her needs are, her expectations are, I just ask them to bring that up at this point.
So I think, if I may, Through the chair, of course. So I think the letter that Jay has drafted depicts not only the history procedurally of what occurred, but kind of, as he stated, will issue a finding to that effect from this board. So that should also carry weight with Carissa. I, through my full-time job, deal with her a lot as far as permitting goes and development. So she is reasonable with that. And again, if there's something that she needs more from us, we'll try to accommodate that. But I think through the letter that Jay has drafted, it should be more than sufficient to determine a finding from this board that we feel the variance has been exercised upon recording of the plans. And then he lists the actual book and plan, book of plans and page that it was recorded on. So it pretty much validates that the variance has been exercised. So you should be good.
Jay,
Okay.
would you concur with that? Generally, with your experience with Carissa, would she take an issue with our finding, or?
I don't think so. I mean, in this case, clearly stating the relief is considered exercised upon the recording of the plan. That's pretty explicit in the decision, and the plan was recorded. So it's hard to say that it wasn't exercised. I mean, maybe not fully exercised, but certainly substantially. So I think it's pretty clear on this.
And I guess, David, the plan is for us to issue this finding in your favor, and
Yes,
then you can withdraw your application for the variance.
yes,
Because there's no need to have the variance further. So there's always the opportunity to resubmit it if Carissa finds differently. And you kind of know our general outlook on the project. So I
So we
think it's,
go ahead.
no, go ahead, David.
We have two attorneys, so let me ask both. Do you see that it's either necessary or appropriate? Would you advise, I know you don't advise, but in your opinion, is this something that warrants being recorded at the registry, or just simply a copy handed to a prospective buyer?
Yeah, I wouldn't record that. I don't even think you,
It's not going to be.
I don't know that you
batch,
could,
it's gonna
yeah.
be a letter. It's not
Okay.
going to be notarized. So
Yeah.
basically confirming the variance is
Yeah.
on record that the city is going to be, in the eyes of the city, that everything's been exercised and it's a valid building lot is what
Very good.
any prospective buyer is going to be concerned about.
in the eyes of this board.
Yes, correct. But you also still have the opportunity to resubmit. We're not, there's no prejudice. There's no
Right.
decision being rendered. So you can resubmit it without prejudice
Great.
to a future board if Carissa disagreed. I just think if there's, I imagine Christine would agree. If there's two variances that are reiterating the same exact thing, it's superfluous and confusing for any title examiner, an attorney that is going to be dealing with down the road, is why this had to happen to begin with. So
Understood.
And the other option would be appeal it if it were denied,
Okay,
and you already have this finding. So
okay.
so I guess we're prepared to issue that letter, David. I'll make a motion to approve the letter as proposed by Jay. And then I think the plan is that you should withdraw the application so we don't have to render a formal decision on the variance, because I feel it's superfluous. And obviously it would be more hurtful than helpful in the long run of things, especially if I can't imagine a buyer's not going to come along tomorrow, but in this market, but maybe it doesn't. So,
Right.
So I'll make a motion to approve the findings as discussed and proposed to us by Jay. Do I hear a second?
Second,
All those in favor, I'll take roll call. Kick Sullivan, aye. Sophia,
aye.
Christine,
Aye.
carries. We'll issue those findings. I imagine Jay will get that out to you pretty quickly for any of your marketing needs. And I think the next step would be if you would choose to withdraw or proceed on your petition.
I withdraw the application, and the only question to Jay is, do I need to send you an email to put it in writing, or is this sufficient?
No, we'll make a motion. So I'll make
this is sufficient. So
Okay,
I'll make a motion to accept the withdrawal of 92 Piedmont Point Road. Do I hear a second?
Second.
you don't really need to.
No, we
Okay.
don't have to do this? Okay.
It hasn't been noticed, so
Perfect.
I guess that's true. We don't have to accept the withdrawal, making you allowed to do that. So, David, you were all set. Do you need anything further?
I do. I just want to say, if you don't mind, I'd like to just say something else. I started this project about 15 years ago. I have dealt with a lot of people, a lot of boards, and a lot of department people in Westfield over this entire period. Virtually, I mean, nearly every single encounter has been cooperative, favorable, and if anything, I think I got a little spoiled, perhaps. I have other properties in Holyoke that it is a night and day difference of my experience of, how what I learned and what I had throughout this entire period in Westfield, and just being so completely opposite in Holyoke, not cooperative, resisting, forcing me to get an attorney for things instead of getting a direct, simple answer to a straightforward question. So I'm speaking to you, but I'm speaking to all the people in Westfield I've dealt with over these past 15 years and say, I thank you. I appreciate the way you have done your job. It's the right way. And well done. Thank you all.
All right, good luck.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, David. Good
Good
luck.
Yep.
So there's nothing else on the agenda this evening, right, Jay? There's obviously no one else here.
yeah, no new applications.
Gotcha. So the June 2nd meeting will be exclusively reserved to accepting new stuff.
If anything comes in, right?
Yeah. Do you anticipate anything coming in?
I don't, but I never know.
There might be.
Okay.
That's all right.
So what do we do when that happens? Because we obviously don't. I was actually supposed to resubmit my letter of intent and resume to Mayor Humison, which I forgot to over the weekend.
He didn't ask me I just sent an email, Jay. Was I supposed to send a resume?
And the email to me asked for a resume.
He likes to send, I guess, a resume to go to council, but
You can dust that off, Christine.
whatever.
I just sent him like some BS, like, I don't know. Don't they have it? I was only appointed like not that long ago. Was I? Right? No? All
Yeah,
right,
I
guess
mean,
they don't.
it was a different administration, so.
Okay. Well, he didn't ask me. He didn't even acknowledge my email. So,
No, you can
You
keep on them. So you're all still good, and you can all continue to serve. And I expect by June 2nd we will have a fourth person confirmed.
Okay. That'll be helpful.
Yeah. Special. I mean, so we obviously can't accept petitions if Sophie is conflicted on them, though, right? We'd have to postpone those because we can't.
Well, it just takes two to accept. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, but to hear it, if we don't have somebody appointed, we would have to
you could accept and schedule it, and at the time of the hearing, then we would deal with if there's three people or not.
All right.
hey, thank you.
So there's nothing else on the agenda. Let me just flip back and make sure. Yeah, there's nothing else the board wants to discuss, correct? No? Okay. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, Chairperson Kate Sullivan, aye. Sophia,
Aye.
Christine.
Okay. Bye. Good night.
Aye. Good night. Thanks, guys.
Jay.